This call will be recorded.
Yo, what's
Yo,
goody?
what's the word?
Hey, shit, man.
Shit,
Just going over this Tory
uh,
Lane shit, man. Listening to a lot of the different shit, man. They just posted that the name, the video of the nigga get stabbed up and shit. So I was like, let me
yeah,
see, man. Let me go back and just
I
listen to a
seen
lot
that.
of that shit. You remember the jail call and shit?
Yeah, the jail call. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fucking I was listening to the shit. I mean, it's like you could take this shit in like two different kinds of ways and shit, cause it sound like an admission of guilt and something, but he never really said he shot anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like I never heard him say anything about shooting anybody, but I also did hear him say he apologized for that and acting like that, and that is, I guess, what's in question and shit. You understand what I'm saying? But it was like a key point that I took away from the phone call, when he was like he apologized to both of them. So it had to be something that he did to both of them, and I believe it was like arguing over both of them and shit. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just
Yeah.
just the acting like that part. What is the that you're referring to? You know what I mean? Because he never really mentioned what he did. You know, so
So do you think the nigga admitting to that Harlem night?
I don't think so, B. Like I don't. I think he more so was admitting to to the girl, like, cause he probably got into it with both of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
I feel like probably like it was like a situation where like Meg probably, they was fucking around, so she probably didn't like how he was operating in the party and shit, or whatever. And then they probably wound up going back and forth. You know what I mean? And the other girl probably jumped in and like, yo, you ain't gonna talk to my friend like that and shit. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just painting the picture like of what I think happened and
okay.
shit. And like, oh, you ain't gonna talk to my friend like that and shit. This, that, and third. He said, your friend and
Who
shit.
Chelsea
Yeah, and then he like your friend
said
and
you ain't
shit.
gonna talk to Meg like that?
Yeah. So he like your friend and shit. So tell your friend how I was fucking you and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and then I think it went up from there and shit. And so then I think probably that's when Mag and the friend probably got into the shit. You understand what I'm saying? This is just my point of view of what I think happened. And fucking they started scrapping and shit. And then probably Meg probably got the best of the bitch and shit. So the bitch went and got that pole. It was finna like, you know what I mean? Shoot ass and shit. But then I guess, Tory, you know what I mean? Since he probably instigated the situation, felt the need to probably, intercept. You know what I mean? That's probably where they get that 0.1% from and shit. Cause I still think the nigga never fired no weapon and shit. You know what I mean? Cause the DNA don't lie. You feel me? But
Okay. But
but
but I but I was looking at something else. They said he did have gunpowder residue on him. Him and Chelsea did.
yeah, so that can easily
But
come
but
from
then they were
wrestling
saying that if
wrestling with
if
the
it was
gun.
fired in a car. So my thing is about that though. This one I'm fucked up with the phone conversation, bro.
Yeah,
He come off on a phone conversation like, yo, what's up and shit. Like she like he like, where y'all at? She
yeah,
say we at the hospital.
yeah,
So instantly, you at the hospital with Meg and shit. You at the hospital with Meg. He get to saying some shit like
the,
he get to saying some shit.
the nigga said the
Damn, I
nigga
wish you could have played that shit.
that the nigga said he was arguing with them. He apologized for arguing with them. I ain't never hear him say he shot nobody. He said no. His exact words was like I was mad drunk and shit, but I don't even remember what we was arguing about.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
But this is what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying. But he come off saying, look, I was drunk. I ain't apologizing for my actions. Uh, soon as I got there and shit, I don't really know what happened. Soon as I got there, you know what I'm saying? My first started giving me shots and like 9 shots, and I was drunk. But he talking to Chelsea like he was pleading his case. This what I'm getting from like he pleading his case on
But
why
then
the
he
fuck he
also,
did the shit he did. But I don't think that the dialogue would have went that way. I don't think the dialogue would have went that way if she the one who fucking shot Meg. It would have
I
been.
kind of
I
think
think it would
so.
have been totally different. I
But
think it would have been totally different. The dialogue that it was giving off was, man, I was drunk. I don't know why I did that shit because she's sitting there listening to the nigga like, yeah. He like,
yeah,
yeah, man, shit was crazy, and she like, yeah, 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 it was
but
crazy. You
look,
did some crazy shit,
but look,
and he like, I wouldn't have never did that shit if you know what I'm saying, if I wasn't drunk, you know.
but look into the looking at the playing devil's advocate. You know what I mean? Because he did end the conversation with like, "Yo, you got my security guard quad number. Can you call him and tell him to see what he got to do to bail me out this shit?" You feel me? So if you just get into an argument with a motherfucker and shit, but you need him to do you a favor so you can get out of the jam and shit, of course you're gonna be apologizing for every fucking thing. Even if you know what I mean, even if it ain't what we think it is or whatever, or what you think it is or whatever, that he popped the bitch or whatever, he gonna be apologizing if he need a motherfucker to do something for him. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, hell
'Cause
no.
remember they was trying to
I'm not
keep it.
finna
They
get
was
on
trying to
here.
listen.
I'm not.
Hear me out. Let me land. They was trying to keep it out of the public eye,
I understand that.
cause
I understand that.
they was like they was trying to get ahead of it before the media do. You understand what I'm saying? And then cause she was like, the longer you stay in there, the more hot it's gonna be. But she was like,
Yeah,
they
I know
already
that.
on it. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, maybe he apologized. Cause he never said he shot anything. He never said he
Of
did
course
anything.
I don't think
And,
he gonna
and if and
confess that shit.
but if that's the
But he
case, right?
said his
Listen, hear me.
action.
His actions, yeah, that doesn't mean he shot the gun. It could have just been the arguing part of it. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe something else did happen. Something physical probably happened. Who knows? You know what I mean? But he never said he shot the. And then
I would have
think,
never did that shit if I wasn't drunk.
but think about this though. Like, if you know, if you admission, if the call is going like you admitting to guilt, right? Obviously you didn't know. Obviously you didn't know they was gonna take this call and put it public. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
why not? Why you don't think he didn't slip up and say, "Oh, I didn't mean to shoot like that." You know what I mean? If he's already thinking like, "All right, boom," he's saying all this
Well,
shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't he just
yeah, I understand that, but
if it's an admission of
uh,
guilt?
yeah, but I'm saying my
How could you
thing
be
is
smart
this,
enough to
bro.
know not
You
to
you
say, "Yo,
you
I just shot this bitch over the
you
phone," but you
you
steady, but you
you got the shit
apologizing?
downloaded? You got it
I could,
downloaded?
I ain't got to download it. No, I don't got to download it, but I did hear it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and I was just saying, like, if you smart enough to be like, if you smart enough to say you didn't shoot her, but
Nah,
you not smart enough to make to know that this phone call sounded like you admitting to doing something you didn't do. It
but he
don't make no
probably want
sense to
he
me.
probably want he probably want thinking that. This how it came off, gang. This how it came off.
That's how it
He
came off.
called.
That doesn't
He
mean what it
called.
is.
Look. Let me see. He called Chelsea. Chelsea, what's going on and shit? What's going on? He locked up. Oh, we y'all at? Oh, we at the hospital. What hospital y'all at? Oh, she downstairs. She downstairs waiting on Meg. Oh yeah, man. Hey, look. Damn, man. I apologize and shit for what went on. You understand what I'm saying?
But
It's
that's right
shit
there,
went
right
down.
there, right there,
She
right there,
right there. What?
right there is where if if it wasn't a admission of guilt, I felt, and he didn't know that the phone call would be publicized like that. I felt like he would have been like, "Yo, I apologize for what went down and shit." As far as you know what I mean, I would have never shot. You know what I mean, I would have never grabbed the gun. Or I would never.
He don't gotta say all that. He ain't gotta say all. He don't gotta say all that, bro. I just feel like he didn't have to say all that. But then while he's saying that, like, man, I apologize for what's going on. She like, her demeanor is, yeah, you did do some crazy ass shit.
Yeah,
You understand? He like,
but
man,
that would be a
this,
motherfucker
this what I'm
demeanor.
saying, bro. That don't give the demeanor. It don't give the dialogue. It's like he's trying to plead his case to Chelsea so Chelsea can tell Meg so Chelsea can smooth shit out with Meg. Because he told her, tell Meg I'm sorry, you know, or tell her I'm sorry. So it's like he's trying to talk to her to
Oh,
Chelsea so she can
oh.
smooth shit out with Meg. You understand what I'm saying?
But
But
he already knew he was gonna get the brunt of the backlash. You
I
understand what I'm
know
saying?
that.
This is
I
what I'm
know
saying.
that. I
So if
know
a
that.
nigga, but that also mean like the dialogue. Like if I be like, yo, it ain't gonna really blow back on her. If anybody is gonna blow back on me and shit, that's not
He
speaking in the
said
term.
that.
Yeah, but that's
He
not
said
speaking.
that.
That's not speaking in the. I don't think that's speaking in the turn of like, oh, I should like, you know what I mean? Like I did this, like so, you know what I mean? But if you saying that you
Nah,
gonna
he
get the
did that.
backlash, if you saying that you ain't nobody else gonna get the backlash, but kind of like me and shit, that's not
Yeah.
admitting that to me
No,
that's not
it's not
admitting.
really. It's not really. It's not really.
You feel me?
That ain't even the key points. That see, I'm looking this. I'm
You
reading
looking
in
at the
between the
tone.
lines.
You looking at the tone as
You
far as
yeah, you got it. I'm looking at the
and I get
tone.
it. I get it why
I'm looking at
somebody
the
would
tone.
say
I'm looking at the conversation because because Chelsea is not saying shit. You understand what I'm saying? She ain't saying shit far as like she not saying shit like she admitting her wrongs or she not
she was
saying like
probably the
yeah I did.
smartest. She
See
probably was the
look,
smartest one out of
she
everybody.
probably was the smartest one out of everybody. Maybe so. Maybe she Kaiser Sosa. Goddamn it. But what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Uh, Normally a motherfucker, if she did that shit and he came off like that, she would have been like, yeah, man, shit just, she would have started like, man, shit just, you know what I'm saying, went left. I ain't know what the fuck was. He was doing all the talking, trying to fucking cop his plea. He the main one trying to cop pleas, and all she doing is listening. Like, man, your ass fucked up, and he's trying to say like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but she probably
I wouldn't have
listening.
never, I would have never been on that shit if I wasn't drunk.
But
He was
you,
saying if I wasn't fucked up, it wouldn't have went there. I wouldn't have,
but it
he
could have
didn't
been.
have to say, oh,
It
if I
could have
wasn't
been.
drunk, I would
Look,
have never shot
hear
her.
me, hear me. Playing devil's advocate, it could have been like, yeah, I didn't know, like it would have never came out that, you know what I mean, I would have never exposed that we was fucking around and shit, you know what I mean, it's that and the third or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It didn't
Okay.
necessarily have to be on some like, oh, it would have never been I shot the bitch and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? It just, I don't know,
Okay.
shit, I
But
could see where somebody would say it looks like an admission of guilt, but it's all circumstantial and shit. It just depends on how you interpret it. You understand? Because the nigga never said, he shot anything. You understand what
But
I'm saying?
he ain't have to say that
He
because
and
that would have been a
but
closed
this is what
case.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you. If
That
you
would have been a
smart
closed
enough,
case.
if you smart enough not to say that, right? Then why would you make a phone call as an admission where it could look like an admission of guilt? You know what I mean? If you already smart enough not to say that I didn't shoot this or I shot this bitch over the phone. You get what I'm
But
saying?
what?
It just don't
But
make
but
no sense to
sometimes
me.
but sometimes a motherfucker will try to downplay what they did by not mentioning the actual act, but just trying to apologize for it. Like I don't want to say I don't want to even go put you through
If
it
I was
again.
gonna
Like
if I did something and regardless of whatever, first off, I'm not even calling that bitch. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
It don't
okay, yeah.
that don't even
But
that
but
ain't
but but look, tell me this though. Tell me this. If Chelsea shot Meg, right? If
yeah
Chelsea shot Meg, right? And
yeah
Meg knew that Chelsea shot her, you
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Why the fuck? Why would she be downstairs? Why would she be downstairs at the hospital? So that must have
Because
mean
she
she
knows
was
she fucked up.
upstairs.
She knows she
Okay, she
fucked
knows
up.
she fucked up. Yeah, I can understand that,
Yeah,
but
she trying to
that
be
probably
close.
mean
She trying to stay
that
close
probably
to the
mean that
situation. Hear me. She trying
she
to
trying to get
stay close to the situation to
I
try
can
to
just
just
how Tory trying to stay close to the situation by going
Exactly.
by going through Chelsea so she can smooth shit over with Meg. You
Exactly.
understand what I'm
It's
saying?
like they was all
If
trying to
that was the
smooth shit
case,
over. It was like they all was
so
trying
you
to
don't think
smooth
she
shit
was in the
over.
room with Meg? You don't think she was up there with Meg?
She
You don't
said
think
she
she
was
was in the
out. She said
hospital
she
with
was
Meg?
outside. She said she was outside.
Okay, okay, but do you think she stayed downstairs the whole time?
I
Or do
believe
you think
so.
she was up there with Meg and just she probably stepped downstairs and shit for a little while?
I believe she was outside the whole time and shit. You
So
know what I
so
mean?
you
Trying to
believe so
smooth
so
shit
you think
over
she never
because
so
she
you
knows
think
she.
she never got to speak to Meg?
Did you see the shit that they dropped recently? Like I believe like it was like a day ago where Meg actually said she stepped on glass. She said she
She's
stepped on glass.
yeah, of course,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Of
And
course,
then
yeah,
later
she
on,
lied.
yeah,
She
later
lied.
on
She
retracted the
lied
statement
because you
that
know what?
so
Because you know what?
that right there.
Everybody was trying to cover up something. Everybody.
But this is what I'm
Everybody was
saying.
trying to cover up something. That's why she said she stepped on
And
glass.
that's the same
You
why
understand what I'm
Kelsey
saying?
was at the
That's why she said
hospital
that,
downstairs
that
and trying to smooth shit over and clear it up because she knows she fucked up. Even though she shot at the bitch and shit, you know that's her friend and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And she didn't want to go to jail for letting off the hammer and shit. What Tory was trying to do was trying to save everybody in the situation and probably not even fuck with them bitches no more. But it backfired on him. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I feel happened. He was trying to save
bro,
everybody in a
oh,
situation
bro,
and it backfired. Once that bitch got
oh,
immunity,
bro.
the friend, once she got immunity, and then what's her name actually went up there and said he shot her and shit. You
She
understand what
got
I'm saying?
immunity.
The friend. The friend
She
got
got
immunity.
immunity
Yeah, for her testifying in the thing, she got immunity for that.
for her testifying
Ye-
on
Tory.
so so if she had immunity, she could have said that she shot her and got off.
No, she couldn't have said that. I mean, it still would have been that would have been an admission again. It would have freed Tory.
What the fuck she getting immunity for? What did she do?
That's this is what I'm saying. That's why the whole case is
Why would they
crazy.
give you immunity for
This
if you didn't do
this
nothing?
is exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why I said the case is just crazy. This is why I think the friend got a lot more to do with it than what people saying.
So is Chelsea and Megan still cool to this day?
No, they not friends because they saying that when the whole trial shit was going on, Tory said he had $1 million for her. You know what I mean? I guess to, just say some certain shit in his favor. You understand what I'm saying?
She had $1 million for who?
For the friend. And the friend
For
was looking,
Chelsea. He was
yeah,
gonna get Chelsea $1 million.
yeah. And the friend was
To
like,
say what? He was gonna bribe her to say what?
I guess just to make it look like, you know what I mean? I guess to make it look good. I don't know. You know what
To
I
make it
mean?
look good?
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well,
It
well,
could
well,
have
well
been,
why I can't give you $1 million for you to tell the truth?
that's a fact. That's a
This is what I'm
fact.
saying. Why I
That's a
can't give you
fact.
$1 million for you to tell the truth?
But he
What?
probably her telling the truth will probably, you know what I mean, get her indicted. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, my thing is this though, bro. Just like I stated before, man.
But who's to
You
say he
not
did?
no gangster, bro.
Who's to say he didn't pay? Who's to say she didn't collect no money from the nigga and still went up there and did what she did and she? Because her testimony wasn't really shit. To be honest, like when you watch the case and shit, her testimony wasn't really all that. You know what I mean? They really
The
couldn't really
only
use
the,
shit from her testimony. You understand what I'm saying?
the only
So
way I can see the only way I can see the only way I can see the reason why I can see that why it'll go down like that is just because he did that NFT shit. You know what I'm saying? He made that $1 million in like a minute by selling all the NFTs for $1. You understand what I'm saying? He was fucking with the industry money and shit. You feel me? He bought himself out his contract. You understand what I'm saying? He did a lot of shit in the
so
industry
you
that this
think it's a
industry
complete? You
execs
think so?
probably.
I don't want to go the conspiracy theory route and shit,
I
but
mean, this
you
is the
know,
only reason. This is the only reason why I would think that if a, that why I would think that she would try to put it on him. It's some conspiracy shit like that.
I think what
If a motherfucker came to her and be like, "Look, we need this motherfucker gone." You understand what I'm saying? So we need you to say this because he just like he said, "Look, I cracked the code." and I ain't happy. I'm not happy because I just made $1 million by selling all these NFTs and shit for $1, and goddamn it, you know what I'm saying? In an hour or whatever it
Yeah,
was, shit. I'm
it
happy for
could be
y'all
some it
because
could be some
I'm showing
underlying
y'all
shit.
the game. Now y'all could do this shit.
It
That's
could
the
be
only way I would see. Other than that, it's
it could
like,
be some underlying shit like that, but
yeah.
I
Other
feel
than
like
that, that,
I
that
feel
that's
like
the only
what
way I can see why a
I
motherfucker
feel
would really take that shit to trial and go all the way. When I know this bitch shot me, but I'm allowing this nigga, like, that shit don't make
I
no
feel like
sense,
what
bro.
happened was like she was still cool with the bitch after the situation. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously she didn't really want her to go to jail for shooting her.
She was still who? Megan
She
was still cool with Chelsea.
Yeah, after the situation, before the
This what
trial.
I asked you.
Listen to what I'm saying. You asked me something different. What I'm telling you is they were still cool before the trial. While after Megan said that Tory shot her, I guess Tory felt the need to, reach out to the friend and offer some money to the friend and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, tell him what really happened, or tell him, you know what I mean? Tell him, like, just to exclude me from the situation. You understand what I'm saying? And then in the mix to that, the friend sat down with probably detectives or somebody, and they was like, "Yo, listen, we'll give you full immunity. We just want you to testify against the nigga." You understand what I'm saying? Because when you really look at the shit, like me, I actually sat down and was listening to the transcripts and was watching the shit, and her testimony really wasn't credible. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It was a lot of vague.
Chelsea shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of vague shit. You know what I mean? Like they was really getting tight with her. And you understand what I'm saying? So they wound up getting her off the stand quick. You understand what I'm saying? So it was
Bro,
really like,
I ain't even listen to all. I ain't even listen to the trial and all that shit, bro.
yes.
I ain't gonna even lie. I watched a few videos and shit about that shit here and there and shit. You
They said
understand
they
what I'm
was just
saying? But
arguing about their
when I
careers and
listen
who
when
they
I
did
listen to
songs
that
with and who
man,
did
listen,
good ball.
when I listen to that phone conversation, man, when I listen to that phone
If you
conversation
just
about
basing
that
it, if you
Harlem night.
basing it, I mean, if you basing
No,
it,
no. I listen. I'm solely convinced with the phone conversation, but still in
yeah,
all, I'm looking at the situation too,
it's a bunch of
because
possibilities being there where
I'm
that
saying, why
shit can
why
go.
why the nigga ain't testified at his own trial?
I
Why
mean,
you ain't testified? You
because
understand
maybe
what I'm saying? Because if
he
you
didn't
would have
want to be late.
testified,
He didn't probably didn't want to be labeled as a snitch. I mean,
you
I
ain't want to be
believe.
labeled that. Oh,
I feel.
because he a tough guy, right?
I
He got
feel
an
like.
image to uphold.
I feel
Because
like.
he got an image to uphold.
I feel. No, listen. I
But you
feel
gonna
like
give a
that's the reason
motherfucker a
why he in
million
jail.
dollars.
I feel like
But
that's
you
the
gonna give a
reason.
motherfucker $1 million though.
I feel like that's the reason why he in jail. Because
Why?
because he didn't want to. He didn't want to get up there and say what really happened.
That's what I'm saying. But why? But if you giving a motherfucker $1 million, if you gonna pay a motherfucker $1 million, I mean you really want them to do something. You understand what I'm saying?
He
You
probably
can't
didn't want to
just
see her in jail.
nah. I ain't buying that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't. You don't want he don't want to see her in jail. But yet she's going up there testifying, saying that saying that you shot her. No, fuck that. But I'm trying to give you a
I
million
don't ever
dollars.
think I don't ever think I
No,
don't ever think
that
she
don't make
said
sense, bro. I'm,
I don't ever think she said he shot her. Is every time it got to that point, it got a little vague. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So whenever they was talking about that point, and then they got to that point, what happened when everybody got out the car? That's where all the confusion was always. You know what I mean? It was always a bunch of confusion every time it got to that point and shit. I don't think they never really got to anybody saying he shot her except for Meg. You understand what I'm saying? Talking
So
about dead, talking.
Meg said he shot her. Meg
Yeah,
said Tory shot me.
yeah, dance,
But
bitch,
no, but
dance.
Chelsea said that shit too.
I don't.
I heard somewhere Chelsea said that the nigga said some shit like dance, bitch, dance,
I
and
gotta.
then
I
start
thought that was Meg.
motherfucking.
I thought that was Meg who said that shit.
No, no, I think Chelsea said the nigga said that shit, bro. Told her ass to dance, man. You
I got.
feel me? Told her to,
I feel like Chessie played whatever her name is, the friend and shit. She played her hand and shit,
she
dude.
was too she
I think
on that phone conversation, bro.
she let that
As I'm
blick off,
referring back
B.
to the phone,
She let that
as
blick
I'm
off,
referring back
B. I ain't trying to
as
hear
I'm
that shit,
referring
B.
back to the phone conversation, bro. she did not seem like her demeanor, how she was talking, it was calm. It wasn't
She Kaza
concerned.
Sosa,
You know what
baby.
I'm saying? It wasn't concerned or nothing. His demeanor was he wanted to apologize for his actions. He wanted to fucking get out of that situation, and he wanted Meg to know that he didn't mean that he fucked up, and that shit would have never happened if he wasn't that drunk. And you know what I'm saying? And
But he
she's just
that
like,
the
yeah,
but he only thing he
nah,
admitted to,
bro.
in that phone conversation was that argument. I would have never argued.
He
I would
didn't
he he
he didn't even
he, s-
admit to an argument. He didn't
he
say an
said that.
argument.
No, he did say argument. He said I would have never argued with you like that, or it was something
No,
to that
I
effect.
ain't hear him say arguing. He said he wouldn't that shit would have never went down. I would have never did that. He said I would have never did that if I wasn't fucked up. You understand what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I think I could have sworn I heard argument. You know what I
That's
mean?
why that's why I
You know,
wanted you to just play that shit and dissect that shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but
Word by word.
yeah,
But look, my thing would have been this, bro. If I if I would have did some dumb shit like this, if I was Tory and I was in that situation and it was going like this, I believe the conversation would have went like this. Uh, what's up? What hospital? What's going on? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Oh, we at the hospital. Okay. Y'all at the hospital. Okay. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Is everything good? Oh yeah, she good and shit. You know, damn. I wouldn't have said too much incriminating shit, but I'd have been like, damn, like, cause he was trying to.
I wouldn't have called
His
her.
whole purpose was he was trying to tell her to
The
tell Meg
security,
like,
no, tell the security guard. That was
yeah,
just
that was the
the,
last thing he said.
yeah. I
You
feel
got
like
my
that.
security number?
I feel like because I mean he Tory Lanez. I mean of course he would have been popular. You know he's popular. Somebody would have came in and eventually figured out what they needed to do to bail him out. But what he was trying to do was keep it out of the public eye. So maybe that's the reason for him calling her in the first
Yeah,
place.
that too. I
You
mean,
understand what I'm
that too.
saying?
But he
And
was,
saying
yeah,
like,
that
"Yo,
too.
listen, I apologize for the arguing and shit." I believe it went
I
down like how
apologize.
I said. I
So,
like how
so
I said it,
okay. So
bro.
you apologize for arguing
That's
when a
just like,
motherfucker got shot,
listen to
bitch?
me.
What you finna do? What you finna do,
But
bitch? Like
if I
you,
know I didn't shoot the bitch,
what
you
the
see what I'm saying?
fuck?
I'm
I'd have been
apologizing.
like,
I
I
feel
would
like
have
he
said this. I would have been like, what the police say to you? Did the police say anything to you? He didn't.
uh,
Oh, the police ain't
what
say shit to you.
or
Oh,
maybe
okay.
he
You
ain't
understand what I'm saying? Like,
listen.
oh, you
But if once again, I felt like he was calling because he needed that favor. You know what I mean? Like I said,
man, that nigga, come on, man. You
eventually,
don't think a motherfucker was gonna find out Tory Lanez was in jail and be blowing up the motherfucking the precinct? Like what the fuck he at? Get his ass up out of there. He didn't have to play it smooth over like he was just a fucking poop putt ass nigga and shit.
eh,
Wanted a motherfucker to make
but
a
this is
three-way
this is what I'm
send
trying
him
to
some
say.
shit on his books.
But this is
Like, you know what
but
I'm saying?
this is what I'm saying is, remember I told you they was trying to really keep it out of the public eye. It was
I
really
know that.
her. It was really her who kind of like put him on. Like, yo, listen, Mag Team already on this shit. You
Yeah, I
understand what I'm
heard him.
saying? And so he was like, for what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he was like, listen, if anybody gonna get the backlash, it ain't gonna be her. It's gonna be me and shit. A nigga who did some shit
Yeah,
gonna
a nigga
already
who did some
know.
shit.
Gonna already know he gonna get backlash. She ain't gonna say if anybody gonna get
No, no,
backlash.
she was saying that she was saying that motherfuckers already picking up the story. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? And
and he
then
said
he said who? They trying to put Megan name in that shit. And then she said no, you know what I'm saying, her people own that shit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna try to make sure that her name ain't in that shit. And then he was saying, yeah, I know, cause her name ain't gonna be in that shit. If anybody name gonna be in that shit, it's gonna be my name, not her
exactly
name.
like that's not a
You
nigga.
understand what I'm saying?
Me, I don't think if a nigga shot somebody and shit, I don't think that's something the nigga who shot somebody. Well, to be honest, if a nigga shot somebody, it should be that whole phone call would have never happened. It should have never happened. Cause I'm not
No,
calling no fucking body. Like I'm not calling. You know what I mean? Like if that happened,
bro, he was
if I
trying
know
to
I did
find
some
out
shit,
what was going on. Of course, if you shot a motherfucker you was cool with, and it was two people that you was cool with, you gonna try to figure out what the fuck going on. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I want to be like, why the fuck the police ain't, did the police question you about anything? That's what I'm asking the bitch. Did they
Yeah, well,
question
yeah,
you
but
about
he,
anything?
yeah,
I
but
want to know, hey, look, did Meg tell him that you shot her? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, but that could also
what you
be
know. Let me know what you
but
know.
that could also be an admission of guilt right there too. Because if you asking her like that, what the police ask her and shit, because that could be looking like you guilty or something and shit, and you
That could be
trying to figure out what's going on, because you guilty or something
no,
too.
cause I'll be cause while I'm in jail and you not in jail. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm in jail, but why
yeah,
I'm in jail and you not in jail,
and
and you the one who shot her. So I'm trying to figure out. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck was told to the police that you're not in jail and I'm in jail. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to apologize to you and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to apologize to you and tell Meg to apologize to Meg and shit. I'm trying to figure out, look, why the fuck am I the only one in jail if you shot the bitch? So what the police
well,
asked
maybe he
you?
trying to protect the bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe
He
he
could
was.
have been trying to. He could have been trying to protect. He could have been trying to protect the bitch too. But I
Yeah,
still
like
want to. But I still need to know, like, because I'm trying to figure out: is y'all trying to put this shit on me? Is everybody trying to put this shit on me?
I think
You
I
feel
think
me?
I think he felt like it was gonna be one of those situations where he had to deal with it, but it wouldn't have got publicized as big as it did. And you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I feel like what happened was the fact that
yeah.
that bitch lied. You know what I mean? And then
Maybe they
and
was gonna
then
stick to the story. Oh, I just
yeah,
stepped on some glass.
exactly. And then she
But
wound
they
up
charged him with a
but
gun. Did
look,
they charge him with a gun?
hear me, bro. She stepped on the glass and shit, right? But then it was like when she flipped it and said that the nigga shot her was because she's claiming that the nigga Tory team was putting pressure on her to say that the story went down like this and shit. And I guess she probably just got fed up with the shit and was just like, that nigga shot me. You understand what I'm saying? Because it didn't really get picked up until after she said that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's probably what
And
they.
she
That's probably what they was running with.
and
That's
at
probably
that
what they was
time
running.
and at that time
But what did
she was
what
still
did he
cool with the
get?
friend. She was still
Yeah, but
cool with
what
the
did he?
friend
She
when
was
she
still cool. So
at
why
the
would she be
time.
cool with somebody who shot her? Tell me that.
Maybe maybe because it didn't mean to go down. Like maybe what's her name was whooping her ass in the car, B. Maybe Meg was whooping her ass in the car, B.
Okay, yeah,
And she
okay.
upholding
I
her
was whooping
ass.
your ass and you shot me and shit. But that was a good
I
excuse for you shooting me. So we cool. We
the
cool,
you
girl.
heard
Bitch, we cool.
you
I
heard the
smacked your ass
you
up and
heard
you fucking shot me in my foot. But goddamn it,
you
hey,
heard the
shit, that was a
gunshot.
good reason for you to shoot me.
I mean,
We cool. Ah,
I
man.
don't think she
Ah,
really got
not no
shot.
bitches. Not no females.
I don't think
Not
she
no
really got shot,
females.
B. I don't really
You
think
don't
she
think
got
she
shot.
got shot?
I don't think she got shot, B. I'm gonna keep it a stat.
Well, they
Probably
said that
fragments. Probably
they
fragments.
said
I
they
mean,
said that shit wasn't from no glass. You
it
know,
probably
they
could have
said
been
it wasn't from no glass.
fragments. You know what I mean? It could have been
They said
something.
it wasn't
Like
from
I
no
don't think she
glass.
got
So with
shot.
a gun, somebody fired the gun.
Did you hear the ring
Who?
camera?
What did
You heard the ring camera footage?
what I heard? What dude was saying and shit, but
it was three pops and then a pause and then two more pops.
oh, you heard that shit?
Yeah, it was three
And
pops.
then a pause.
It felt like somebody shot the gun off three times, and then a motherfucker tried to get it from their ass, and then they was able to get two more off. You understand what I'm saying? That's exactly how it
Yeah.
sounded like.
Okay. But my okay. Look, tell me this though.
And look, hear me. Now, if it was Tory shooting, right? Just hypothetically, if he did shoot the gun, who's grab other than the security guard whose DNA was not on the gun at all? You understand? No, they said it was two males and Tory's was like a 0.1 out of 99. You know what I mean? That his shit could have been on this shit. You get what I'm saying? So if
What did he get locked up for?
I
What was
guess
his charges?
I don't remember the charges per se
Did
exactly,
they
but I
charge him
know
with the gun?
I believe they charged him for firing off the weapon. You
They
know,
charged him with firing off the weapon. Was that his initial charges?
I don't know 100%, but I believe that that was one of the main ones and shit. Yeah, I mean, I believe that was one of the main joints. I gotta
All right,
look
let
that
me
up
ask
and
you this.
shit.
Let me ask you this. If you was with two females, right? If you
Yeah,
was with two females that you was fucking with or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and one female pulled the gun out and started shooting, and then you grabbed the gun from her and all
yeah,
that, you know what I'm saying, and then they locked you up, right?
yeah,
They locked you up and charged you with firing a gun.
yeah.
They locked you up and charged you with firing a gun, and then you call a female and shit. Is you gonna be trying to figure out because you don't know what's going on. You just know she shot and I as you gonna be trying to figure out like why the fuck is they just charging me with shooting?
I'm sure.
Or
But I don't
is
think
you
he
gonna be
was.
trying to figure out
I don't think he
is you
was
gonna be trying to
actually
figure out what they told the police?
at that point. At that point in time, I don't think he was even charged or yet indicted yet of the crime. You understand when he made that phone call? If I'm not
Nah, is you gonna be
mistaken.
trying to figure out what was told to the police?
I'm not making a phone call. If you're talking about me, I'm
Yeah,
not
but I'm
making
just
no
saying
phone
you
call to
not
the bitch.
okay.
I'm not making
I'm
no
not
phone
saying
call. Yeah, I'm not even
okay.
making no phone
You
call
ain't
to
gonna
the.
make no phone call, so we ain't gonna
Yeah,
even be here.
we
But
ain't
I'm
even
just
gonna be in
saying,
that situation. Yeah.
if
If I was in his
we see
shoes,
Tory,
if I
yeah,
was
I
in his
mean,
shoes, if I was in his shoes, you know what I
if
mean? That was
you
his
the
first
phone was
mistake.
already on there.
Yeah, that was his
Nah,
first
yeah, we
mistake.
know that.
But
Everybody know
but
that he shouldn't have did that.
but I definitely would have been trying to figure out what the
Eh,
fuck going on. You
you
know,
would have been trying to figure out
what's
what
going
was
on.
told to the police.
Yeah.
The reason why you was locked up for
No.
you.
But they probably I think they all took a trip. They all had to get questioned and shit. But he was the
Yeah,
only one remanded because he's the guy. You understand what I'm saying? But you hear in the footage that they just released that the guy that was in the car was saying that I think the security guard he was saying that them two were fighting the Kelsey bitch and Mac. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
Okay,
and
they
and
was fighting.
I don't remember what he said about the gun situation or whatever, but I think they said that the one of the girls got the gun or whatever. And I'm telling you, the shit went down like that, bro. Like she probably was defending Meg at first, and then he like, bitch, you defending her? Like, all right, so she's so much your friend and shit. Tell her that we been fucking around and shit, and
Hey,
shit went up from
hey,
there. Be on for
hey,
real.
did Tory admit to that Harlem night, man?
I
That's
don't,
it. Did Tory
yeah.
admit to that Harlem night?
Hey man.